Courag.
I'm an engineer producer from Newport News, Virginia.
Hey y'all, I'm Bree, known by some as Bree Field. Yes, that's F-E-E-L. I want you to feel where I'm coming from. I am a singer-songwriter, and collectively we make up XIB, a songwriting and production duo.
Hello everybody, I'm Seairra, model hairstylist.
My name is Samantha Sinclair. I'm an artist, actress, singer, model, muse.
Hi everybody, I'm Naira. I am a recording artist and a filmmaker, Nigerian descent and Nigerian American.
My name is Bias LaRose. I'm a hip-hop artist, part of the collective Far Out family.
The first question is, what is success to you as an artist? So that overall artistry, whether it's modeling, you know, that we are here for art. So what is success to you as an artist?
Successful on having toward a second job to support my artistry.
Great, yes.
Wake up in the morning.
Success. Yeah. Anybody else want to in on that? Success.
I feel like success is vision and completion of that vision.
And work behind it.
Yeah. So whatever it takes to fulfill that journey, being able to say this is the end goal, whatever that end goal is, that's success.
I've always felt like success is when my art can fund itself, but also when my art will allow me to live a life of comfort that allows me to invest in others. Because we all have family members, everybody has dreams, and granted, you know, the fruition of my dreams becomes the fruition of everybody else's dope to me. The success.
Personally, to me, success is, like X said, it's having a vision and then being able to put action behind that vision, and in the end result, you're like, damn, I prayed for this, I worked for this. And at that moment, even though you're not at the end of the road of success, you come to those steps to be successful.
So kind of what you said in terms of just being able to do what you love, that's success. And to be able to be proud of what you did, that's success. Because there's a lot of people who will look back and they'll have this paid off and that paid off, and you know, God willing, we will too. But to be proud of how we got there, that's success.
What are some of your proudest moments? It doesn't have to be within artistry, it doesn't have to be, you know, in the artist world, but just in general, what are some of your proudest moments?
Well, I can say today is definitely one of my proudest moments of myself, because I'm normally not super comfortable speaking in front of people, and then I said, you know what, I won't chicken out, so I'm gonna push myself to go out and speak, because I want to do more things like this. And so I'm proud of myself for doing
It's hard to get in front of a crowd of people, especially like around different crowds. You will have a crowd who's really engaged, and then you will have a crowd who's not engaged and is so quiet where you're just like in your head and start getting really anxious and you forget everything, right? So I could definitely understand that. Anybody else?
One of my proudest moments came early this year. I had a song featured on Tyler Perry's show.
Listen.
I'm proud because, okay, it's on a show, and it's on a show that people know, and it's on a network. But I'm really proud because it was released, honestly, by force. The people around me made me put the song out because I had been sitting on music and really kind of underestimating my abilities, and they're like, you need to drop that. And so it wasn't something I planned on doing, and then like less than a year later, it was like a sign that I'm doing the right thing. I was supposed to drop that song, whether I wanted to or I didn't. So I'm really proud to have a support system that puts me in those positions to where I'm going to create whether I want to or not. And then I would say my second proudest moments are really just with my son and him being so familiar with what I do and what I make and singing my songs. He's only 3, but he's like, play 85, play Drowning. And it's growing up in like a military household, it's unconventional for me to be acting on my creativity the way that I do. And so it's like for me to know that with him, yes, he can do anything that other people may deem conventional, but he also has that freedom and that liberty to explore any other things that may interest him, and knowing that I see that in him. That makes me super proud.
Yes, that's great. That's great. I think a lot of artists wish they came up in those homes where their parents actually supported their artistry. No, Mom, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be a doctor. And for a long time, I did the whole 4 years of school. Let's do what everybody else says. And after that 4 years, I'm like, why am I still not happy? Even after having jobs that were paying great hourly wages, I'm like, why are you here with an attitude and all you gotta do is call people? But then I went through things where, I was broke, but I was doing what I loved and I was happy. And I had to sit down like, you have no money coming in, but I have so much time to build music and perform and do other, platforms and stuff like that, that those are my happiest moments versus getting, $40,000, $50,000 a year where I'm just like, what am I doing? So yeah, I think, coming up as artists, especially when we have kids, we need to put that on them, that artistry is okay. Like, you can make a living off of that. Did anybody else want to hone in on what's like your proudest moments or something like that?
I got one. A while back, it was many years ago, me and my brother G back here,
Hey, G.
family, but we got asked to go up to Princeton to be a part of their hip hop symposium and perform. And so they had us up there, and that first year was kind of like, we were really nervous because, you don't know, a bunch of Ivy League kids, you don't know what it is. And we performed, we had a great time, but the second year after that, the fact that they flew us back and they were like, no, they're still talking about you guys from before. Mm-hmm. It was like a moment where, as an artist, you're always real nervous about because, stuff's going on and you don't know, I don't know if they like it, or I don't know if how much, and so the fact that they kept bringing us back and, we got to perform for, Cornell West and random people like that while we were there, and it was they kept flying us back up there, and it was just oh, this is actually really cool. It was, the fact that there's that moment of validation that's okay, somebody digs this, somebody actually likes this. So that was cool.
Any proudest moments out here in the crowd? We want to get y'all involved too. Y'all here? This ain't the Wendy Williams show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to school for fashion design. I had a very hard time, and my teacher was like, you should quit. So to spite her, I put on a fashion show. I met you before at something else, and I was like, you're pretty, I want you to be one of my models. I want you to walk in my house. And she was like, okay. And Shay walked, and it was awesome. And I invited her. Did she come? No, don't care. But it was something I'd never done. I had no budget. I ran out of money. I took the mock-ups and dyed them with wine and turmeric and Kool-Aid and put the show on.
Wow. And that's what, I think just as adults, life is just about figuring it out. No matter if somebody said you can't do this or whatever, I'm gonna figure it out. I've had situations where my parents have cut me off for reasons where you're just come on now, that's petty. You figure it out. I still figure it out. Though it's hard to say I don't need my mom, I don't need my father as far as financially. Of course, we would love to have our parents mentally and emotionally, but as far as financially, I will figure it out. And everybody who told me moving to Atlanta and not finishing my master's degree, I still figured it out. And I've been here 2 years paying my first apartment rent for 2 years without anyone's help. So you figure it out no matter if somebody's saying you can't do it or. Yes, so you figure it out. That's really great. Yes. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So, this one is a great one. How can the creative community improve? That's the first one. Do you think it's improving, and how do you play a part in it? So that's a 3-part question.
My creative experience as an adult has been kind of spread out between here, New York, LA, Miami. So I've kind of gotten to experience a lot of different creative whatever cultures. And I think that as far as the people and the creatives themselves, Atlanta has the best creatives, period, and everywhere that you go in the world. But the way that art is valued in other places is not the same as the way that it's valued here. People love art, people want to be involved with art, but they want to do art cheap. Where you go to New York, people love art, they're involved with art, they'll pay thousands of dollars to go and sit and look at a painting, And it's how do we bring that culture to all of these incredible creatives that are just pumping out great artwork all the time? So I think that's one way that we could definitely improve I don't remember the next question after that.
So the next question that goes into that is, do you think it's improving?
In that manner, no. I think that the amount of creatives grows every year. I think that the quality of work improves, but I don't think that like being able to raise the price tag on my work and still, you know, like that hasn't come to it.
You don't think artists are getting what they deserve?
Exactly.
Is that what you're
I feel like I feel you about like the quality and the quantity of artists in Atlanta. I do think that it's slightly improving. Like for example, ABL, Art Beats and Lyrics. Like I remember attending one. I knew there were several of them. I think I attended one a year or two ago, and then I attended another one this year. The caliber of artists, almost the same artists, are being featured, but you now start to see those same artists in huge platforms, and that was only derived from that experience, and them also pushing their brand. Maya Bailey, I feel like he's starting to generate like a local hive, not a hive, like a collaborative opportunity for people, like a home for artists. I hate that. And I think from there we'll start to see more opportunities. I low-key feel like if it were easy, everyone would do it. And if everyone had access to the same information, we would still not have the same product. So share. Share.
And then to add to that, how do you play a part in that? So how do you play a part in improving the artist community?
Stepping outside of myself, like I create in seclusion. Sometimes I'll sit on music. My last record was also a product of what the hell, Naira? I love this song. I'm tired of hearing you. I'm tired of hearing about it. Just put it out, and I'm like, I can't. So having like people that you know, but also listening, and then also for me creating opportunities. Like I had a dream, and I can't do it all. Well, I mean, I can do a lot of aspects, but
When you
why?
other people.
Yeah. So to me, that's my contribution to improving the art scene is creating opportunities.
Right.
That was great.
I think networking and collaborating, those two are probably the main things that I contribute to the artistic community. It's like I have a lot of connections that aren't just here that help people. To, you know, like it's great to be an artist in Atlanta, but like when Desi went to Fashion Week the first time, like it was wonderful to see Desi like connecting with people that I knew in New York and like shooting with artists that you know that she had never seen before. You know, so like that. I think being able to do that, provide that for people indoors, probably is the best thing that I can provide.
And one more thing to add, I would say just support your community, and don't be afraid to create with your fellow peers and express yourself with your ideas and everything. And I feel like we all just support each other, and that's how I feel like I contribute. By support,
I think I'm in a weird space, creatively, because I'm one of the few people in my creative circle that I know that like hops back and forth as much as I do between the grounded creatives and the commercial world. You know what I mean? Like dealing with like the corporate world of creativity. So it's like it's a yin and yang situation with like how artists are cultivated and grow in Atlanta specifically. You have like one end of the spectrum where it's getting kind of, to piggyback kind of off what you said, but it's kind of like it is getting easier to create. So you have a lot more people that are creating for the sake of creating. And me, I'm on the side of I hate to do things that are cool for what they are. Like everything that I touch, I want it to be like, this is dope, regardless of who you are and what your perspective is on it. How it got to be in front of you is dope. And that's just the bottom line of it for me. So because you have so many people that are creating at a lower level, that are creating at a high volume just to keep up with Instagram, you know what I mean? Like I need something to post every week, every other day type of creativity. And then you have some people that are like, no, this is my process is too important for me to create at that level of volume, you are getting the recognition in Atlanta just from the volume that are making it easier. Why? You know what I mean? So that it's making it easier for the people that are actually into the craft to get those larger platforms because it's drawing eyes because of the people that don't care. But we're getting like the trampoline off of that to get the bigger platform.
The eyes that are being put on the younger, more volume intense creatives are creating the platforms for the people that have been in the mud trying to like just work on their craft day in and day out to have these larger platforms, which I think is pushing the creative culture forward. How I play a part in that personally, I feel like I'm the creative's creative. So it's like you never really see my art, you see my personification of other people's art. Being a producer and engineer, it's like if you don't provide me with the vision, then I can't create the palette for that to be seen by the masses. So as long as people want to create solely for the purpose of like getting their creativity out, I feel like how I push it forward will always be elevated. So
I know I wanted to personally hone in on this. I'm actually pretty new to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta in June of 2018. And I moved here because, of course, like you said, it's the place to be. It's an amazing networking opportunity. A lot of people are willing to work with person to person, no matter who you are. However, Atlanta is so saturated with the commercial, high volume, let's just do it really quick artists. It's sad to say, and it's also a lot of exploitation within promoters and venues who are charging artists $50, $60 to $300 to perform for 5 or 10 minutes. Now I know you have to put on a festival, but the last person you should be charging is the artist who's coming to put on a show for your people. And so when I got here, I got into a whole argument with that, with a few promoters out here, and I said, this doesn't make sense to me. That's not improving your artist community because I don't have $50 to perform, but the next guy who has $50 to perform, who, not to be big-headed, but has half the talent in me, he gets to get in front and get all of this, networking opportunities because he had that $50. So now you have all of these rappers and these people paying at these shows who don't really have the real talent. And again, like we're in the mud trying to like just show people like we can do this. And so how I'm personally improving that is I created my own artist platform for artists to come through and perform and network for free. And it's called The Basement Unplugged, and I made it, it's a secret location concert series. The reason why I made it a secret location is because if somebody supports you, they're gonna ask you when the date is, and then they'll figure out where it is and how to get there because granted it's a secret location, but I always put it in the Atlanta area. You don't find out the location until you actually get a ticket. To me, that's saying, I still support you no matter where it's going to be at, and I will actually pay to see you. The artist doesn't have to pay to get in front of you. And then it's not even only with the artists. I do vendors as well, and vendors come in and live painters. So it's just literally a big event full of networking and love and stuff like that. And so that's how I'm personally contributing to it. And I wanted to be able to take that back home to St. Louis to say, look, this is what networking is. This is what support is. This is what actually believing in somebody is, because in St. Louis they don't have that. It's like, it's not called a show me state for anything. You have to show them that you're worth $15. You have to show them that you actually have talent. And what that means is, do you have thousands of views on YouTube? Do you have hundreds of thousands of followers? And if you don't, St. Louis is like, well, you're not showing me nothing. So I want to be able to take this platform that I created and take it back to St. Louis and show everybody there, like, this is how I'm improving my artist community. What are you all doing? And I actually have the opportunity to do that next month. I'll be taking the platform to St. Louis. Yeah. And, I want to do it in New York. And so opportunities like this is like networking and having those conversations is how I think improving the artist community will actually bring it up. It's like this array of people who are super talented, like the Masegos and the FKJs. We have those here in Atlanta, but it's so concentrated because we have the artists who are doing the volume, and it's like, well, it takes me 1 month to write one song. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I really want to, I'm over exaggerating that, but if I really want this song to have meaning, I can't create it in 5 minutes, and I can't do it 3 times a week. So, yeah.
I'll say something that to add to that. When it comes to, I feel like there is a portion of the community down here that is making it, or it's getting better for artists. I know one thing is that when you talk about like paying for shows and how they're always down here, they're always asking you to pay for a show. And in New York, it's not like that as much. And the thing is that when we were going up to New York, one thing that we noticed, or that you start to realize, is that getting sponsorships there is much easier. Everything is up there, when it comes to like, Glenn always say, he's like, well, when you're up there, and it's like, well, the magazine company's actually right there, it's down the street. You don't have to like, oh, down here, if somebody works for XYZ magazine, it's like, well, they work in the South branch of it. Whereas like up there, it's like, no, this is where the magazine is. You can walk down the street, that's where the Def Jam office is. Down here, you might have a Def Jam South, or a guy who might work there. It's like, no, the office is right there. And you know what I'm saying? So it's so much easier in other places because that infrastructure has just been built there over years and years and years, and they have these platforms, and they see that the talent is down here, but the platform's up there. You want to be on XXL, well, the magazine's up there. Back in there, you want to be on the Source, well, the magazine's up there. All the labels, they're all housed up there. Everything is up there. The modeling community, you might have a big modeling community down here, but up there is where the actual modeling house is, and it's like, so when you do have somebody throwing an event, they're like, well, it's hard for me to get the sponsors, whereas up there, I can just walk down the street and went up to, Budweiser, and they're like, yeah, give me $500 to throw this little show, and they're like, cool. Whereas here, you got to make a call to a guy who you might know, a guy who might live in New York, and, it is changing down here, so I will say I've seen that's gotten a bit better, and I think that's sometimes in favor of the artists.
Going back to the volume piece, I think it's important to note that it's a lot of promoters and a lot of artists, paying to be on these shows, and a lot of promoters charging to be on these shows because of a combination of laziness and ego. If you have these bulk artists, bulk content artists who are just used to cranking out halfway produced music, who aren't going to be advertising that they even have a show coming up in order to get their fan base there. Like, seriously, if they're not doing their part, so of course they're like, how do I cover my part? But they're lazy too, and so everyone's operating in this state of ego because it's like, I put my music out and it just is what it is. No one is willing to humble themselves enough to really get out there and meet people and try to build their base. They're just expecting to go to the show and find their base. And that's not how it works. So when people, especially on the artist side, start to really actively get engaged with their potential new audience members and pound pavement and don't just go to shows that you're performing in, then you'll start to see, hopefully, it level out. But I was going to say exactly what you said. You have to create your own platforms because these people, they don't take the artist serious. They don't want to do the work. They want us to pay them and call it a day. And so it's like, and half of them, they want you to pay just for you to, as singers, go there and, they barely got a mic working. And I hope that people know there's always room for more. If you say you want to have your own show, do your own show. It's always a venue, it's always an audience. Don't ever second guess the opportunity there. So,
yeah, let's give it up for that round. That was a great round. Do you as an artist have self-doubts? What inspires you and keep you going when you doubt? Let's just answer this question. What inspires you and keep you going when you doubt yourself? Because we all have self-doubts.
I think that's a much better way to look at that question. I have friends like Desi who will post their incredible art or things that inspired them. I have friends like BG that will come and check on me occasionally to make sure that I'm still getting my stuff together. Sam, we're even in the studio. When are we gonna get together? You know, I have people. I've built myself a network of people that believe in me enough that even when I don't believe in myself, they'll push me to continue to believe in what I want to do. You know, so like when I feel like this isn't for me, it's not where I should be. I can send a message on Instagram or post something, and the universe will send it back to me. Like, no, you're in the right place. You know, so. I think if it wasn't for networking, if it wasn't for having the right people, I would have quit a long time ago, for sure. Yeah, but that's it. People save me every day.
Networking and people in your corner definitely very, very.
I would say what keeps me inspired is getting out, for sure. And my support system. They keep me going, like you said, like friends and Desiree and anybody who posts and they tell me like, you know, they'll feel you when you're down. Your friends will feel you when you're down. Your family will feel you when you're down. You're not feeling like yourself. And they'll give you those positive words of encouragement. They say, keep going, you know, because this is what you're going to do. And they, those constant reminders, I feel like, you know, you get those opens in life, you get those signs like, you know what, keep going. You know, it's just a constant reminder to push, just keep pushing. And yeah, that's what I look for those signs, and I listen to my family, and I vent too, you know, vent about it. Don't keep it all in, like not to hold everything in, just vent about it and be open about it and be transparent, and you'll get that support back.
Me personally, as a creative, when I have self-doubts, I just like to create. In whatever medium. Like, I'm an engineer and producer first, so like audio is my thing. Like, making beats, making songs, mixing somebody else's songs, making them sound like whatever I feel like making them sound like at the moment. But I do graphic design, I paint. Like I got really like crochet needles one time. Like it was crazy. Like anything creative, like whatever, get out of your medium. When I started doubting myself in what I personally do professionally, like I need to go do another creative medium outside of what I do. And then I'll pop up like next week and like I'll have a song called like Crush Velvet or something. But it's because Bree just made some pants or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like we just like it was like it starts driving like all of your other creative juices. Like if you're a producer and you just make beats all day, like go paint something. Like you probably gonna spice it up, go do something else.
I was gonna say, this is my husband, y'all. I don't think we said that. But that works for that reason, but that also works for another reason for me, because he'll be like, babe, paint it. I'm like, boy, okay. And then I get the painting, and I'm like, you know what? I thought I wasn't a bomb songwriter, but I'm definitely trash at this, and when I write, it don't feel like that. So I must have been better than I gave myself credit.